Maneuver exercise of Bangladesh Army held in Rajbari. Army is the nation's pride and trust, says Chief Advisor Professor Mohammad Yunus.
আধুনিক ও যুগোপযোগী প্রশিক্ষণের মাধ্যমে আভিযানিক দক্ষতা অর্জন করে দেশের সার্বভৌমত্ব রক্ষায় বাংলাদেশ সেনাবাহিনীর সদস্যগণ সর্বদা প্রস্তুত থাকবে।
Election Commission pledge bound to hold free, fair and impartial elections, says CEC. Interim government committed to create investment-friendly atmosphere to boost foreign investment, says foreign advisor. Trial run of trains conducted of Jamuna railway bridge. 2 trains crossed the bridge at maximum 120 km/h. Appellate Division upholds dismissal of 4 cases against BNP's acting chairman Tariq Rahman. More than 19,000 illegal migrants arrested in Saudi Arabia. Most of them are the citizens of various countries of African continent. And Australia win the 5-match Test series 3-1, defeating India by 6 wickets in Sydney Test. Assalamu alaikum. I'm Tassumu Taslim, welcoming you to News at 10. You've just heard the headlines, now moving on to the details. Chief Advisor Professor Mohammad Yunus has said Bangladesh Army is the pride and trust of the nation. He said this after observing the maneuver exercise of an infantry brigade at Rajbari military training area today. Professor Yunus said Bangladesh Army should acquire the operational skills through modern and time-befitting training and keep its members ready for war to protect the country's sovereignty. Training of the Army members must be realistic to achieve operational skills, courage and professionalism, he added.
সেনাবাহিনীর মূল লক্ষ্যই হলো বিজয়ী হওয়া, দেশকে রক্ষা করা সকল পরিস্থিতিতে। বলা যাবে না এটা এখন বর্ষার দিন, এখন আর পারবো না, এখন বেশি গরম, এটা পারা যাবে না, বলার উপায় নেই। যে কোনো মুহূর্তে যে অবস্থায় আছে না কেন প্রয়োজনে যুদ্ধে ঝাঁপিয়ে পড়তে হয় পূর্ণ সাহস এবং প্রস্তুতি নিয়ে। সেটারই একটা মহড়া হলো প্রস্তুতি হিসেবে ভবিষ্যতে বাস্তব যুদ্ধে আমরা আমাদের যা করতে হবে সেটার একটা প্রস্তুতি, যাতে এটা ক্রমাগতভাবে আমরা প্রতি মুহূর্তের জন্য প্রস্তুত থাকতে পারি সেটার জন্য, এবং ক্রমাগতভাবে এটা আরও সুন্দরভাবে গড়ে উঠবে এই আশা করছি। একজন শান্তিকামী মানুষ হিসেবে আমি বরাবরই যুদ্ধের চেয়ে শান্তির মহড়া দেখতে বেশি আনন্দ বোধ করি। তবে দেশের স্বাধীনতা ও সার্বভৌমত্বের প্রশ্নে প্রস্তুতির লক্ষ্যে সামরিক বাহিনীর এই প্রশিক্ষণ অত্যন্ত গুরুত্বপূর্ণ। আজকের এই মহড়ায় বাংলাদেশ সেনাবাহিনীর প্রদর্শিত দক্ষতা অত্যন্ত প্রশংসনীয়। এই মহড়া দেখে আমিও সেনাবাহিনী, বিমান বাহিনীর সক্ষমতা সম্পর্কে আরও আত্মবিশ্বাসী হয়েছে। ভবিষ্যতে সশস্ত্র বাহিনীর এই সক্ষমতা আরও আধুনিকায়নের জন্য আমরা কাজ করে যাব। প্রশিক্ষণে সর্বোত্তম কল্যাণ এই মন্ত্রে উদ্বুদ্ধ হয়ে আধুনিক ও যুগোপযোগী প্রশিক্ষণের মাধ্যমে আভিযানিক দক্ষতা অর্জন করে
hour-long exercise, members of Bangladesh Army equipped with state-of-the-art weapons successfully conducted the attack exercise by creating a realistic war environment. All arms and services, including various types of most modern tanks, APCS, artillery guns, infantry, engineers and commanders of the Bangladesh Army participated in the exercise. In addition, fighter aircraft of the Bangladesh Air Force, aircraft of Army Aviation and helicopters took part in the exercise. The Chief Advisor praised the skills and high-quality training of the Army members participating in the exercise. Bangladesh Army's 55 Infantry Division organized the event on the occasion of Army Maneuver Exercise 2024-25. Chief of Army Staff General Wakiruzzaman Chief of Naval Staff Admiral M. Nazmul Hassan and Chief of Air Staff Air Chief Marshal Hassan Mahmud Khan and GOC of 55 Infantry Division and Area Commander of Joshua Area Major General J. M. Imdadul Islam welcomed the Chief Advisor on his arrival at the venue. Advisors of the interim government and senior officers of the armed forces were present. The Election Commission is committed to ensure a free, fair and transparent impartial election to bring back the voting rights of people. Chief Election Commissioner AMM Nasiruddin said this while inaugurating a training program for the individuals who will update voter list and their supervisors at Election Training Institute in the capital's Agarga today. The CEC directed all concerned to work professionally. He went on saying that the Election Commission has to come out of old passion and have to change their mentality and habits. Election Commissioner Brigadier General Retired Abul Fazl Muhammad Sanaullah said people want to exercise their voting rights and measures will be taken so that none can jeopardize the voting environment. Election Commissioner Anwarul Islam Shorkar said negligence and irregularities in updating voter list will not be tolerated. Election Commissioner Tamid Ahmed said, in order to ensure a fair election, the Election Commission will work as per law. Election Commissioner Abdur Rahman El Masood called upon all to work with transparent and sincere manners. Election Commission Secretariat Senior Secretary Akhtar Ahmed presided over the event. Foreign Advisor Muhammad Tawhid Hossain said the country lacked adequate investment-friendly environment during the previous government. The current interim government is determined to create an investment-friendly environment to attract foreign investments, he added. The advisor said this at a seminar on Saudi-Bangladesh economic relationship at the Foreign Ministry today. At the time, Finance Advisor Dr. Salihuddin Ahmed said the fallen Sheikh Hasina government had driven away South Korean company Samsung from the airport like that of Saudi company Aramco. Saudi Arabian ambassador in Dhaka Issa bin Yusuf Al Duhailian said some people in Bangladesh discourage foreign investors because of their self-interest. The invoice said Saudi Arabia wants to set up an oil refinery factory in Bangladesh, aiming to build an oil export hub in the East and South Asian market.
Although we have been claiming for a long time that we have the most investor-friendly atmosphere, but then in practical ground, that has not been the truth all the time. I can assure the ambassador that the present government is definitely poised towards, very positively towards this, and we are trying to make things really easy for the investors to come in.
And for the Saudi Arabia, private sector rate seaport management is there already, deep seaport. Savinco is there, and as you mentioned very rightly, Aramco was not welcome. Same is true with the Korean. Samsung came, and they are also not welcome. They went to Vietnam, and they are exporting more than $50 billion. আর আমাদের দেশে স্যামসাংকে এয়ারপোর্ট থেকে তাড়িয়ে দিলেন, and what happened. So these are the policies, and in fact I sometimes, because I was at one time the governor of the central bank, there are a lot of wrong policies taken over the past. I'm not bringing only the other corruption, other things. The wrong policies, and that's what we are now paying for that one. I'm sorry to the fact, because the challenge they're facing right now.
Actually, the Saudi-Bangladeshi relationship is a multi-dimensional relationship. It's not only focusing on Hajj or manpower or AIDS, but it's a multi-dimensional relationship. It should cover trade, investment, sport, culture, tourism, and every other aspect of our relationship. Aramco, which is the biggest oil company in the world, inshallah they are willing to come to Bangladesh to build a refinery here in Bangladesh. If we are talking about the Bay of Bengal, if we have a refinery there, it will help to produce the petroleum products to Bangladesh and to the region. And if we build or make a sea lane from Chittagong to Jeddah or from Chittagong to Dammam, this will make a significant change, not only internally, but in the region.
The government will hold talks with political parties to prepare the July proclamation. Chief Advisor's Press Secretary Shafiqul Alam said this while briefing journalists at Foreign Service Academy this evening. After holding talks with the political parties, he said the draft of the July proclamation will be prepared. About the probe into the much-talked Shagor Rooney murder, Shafiqul Alam said the probe has been reopened and evidences of the killing are being scrutinized. Mentioning that the probe into Shagor Rooney killing incident would be a tough task, the press secretary said Police Bureau of Investigation (PBI) is investigating the case and the agency has the capacity to unearth the clue behind the incident. He hoped that PBI would be able to complete its probe. Replying to a question, the press secretary said the government is hopeful of the extradition of ousted Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina from India. He said no country in the world gives shelter to a killer, and when the world will know the misdeeds of Hasina, pressure will be mounted to extradite the ousted Prime Minister. Speaking at the briefings, Chief Advisor's Deputy Press Secretary Azad Mojumdar said Bulgaria shifted its visa centers for Bangladeshis to Indonesia and Vietnam, and it has already issued visas to 22 Bangladeshi students from its missions located in Indonesia and Vietnam. Talks continue with Romania to issue visas to Bangladeshi students from its missions in Vietnam and Thailand, he said, adding that Kazakhstan has informed that it will issue visas to Bangladeshi students from its Bangkok mission. Azad Mojumdar said the Foreign Ministry also continues talks with European countries asking to shift their visa centers from New Delhi to other countries for Bangladeshis. Bangladesh Railway today conducted a trial run with trains running at full speed on the Jamuna railway bridge. 2 trains started to move simultaneously from the up and down lines at a speed of 60 km per hour around 9:30 a.m. The trains were then tested at speeds of 60 km per hour, then 80 km, then 90 km, 100 km, 110 km, and finally 120 km per hour. The trial run will continue till tomorrow. The mass media is engaged in flattery of the partisan politics for the last 15 years. Head of Mass Media Reform Commission Kamal Ahmed said this while exchanging views with the newsmen in Chattogram today. The commission will recommend compensating the journalists who were affected and harassed during that period, he added. Journalists representing media of Chattogram placed their various demands to the commission at the meeting. They said that it has become urgent to formulate policy to ensure salary and allowances as well as security of the journalist. The local newsmen also demanded to set minimum educational qualification for the journalist to determine qualification for publisher and editor. Speaker at the View Exchange meeting, the Media Reform Commission head Kamal Ahmed said that the prevailing anarchic situation in media sector must come to an end. He informed that the commission will formulate effective recommendations to make the media independent, strong and pragmatic, which will be implemented by the next government. The Appellate Division has upheld the verdict of the High Court that scrapped 4 cases against BNP acting chairman Tariq Rahman filed on charges of extortion. The 4-member bench led by Justice Muhammad Ashfaqul Islam gave the verdict today, dismissing the leave to appeal filed by the state against the High Court verdict. Additional Attorney General Onik R. Haq argued in the court in favor of the state. A number of lawyers stood for Tariq Rahman. They are Advocate Joinul Abedin, Barrister Mahbub Uddin Khokon, Barrister Kaisar Kamal, Barrister Bodruddoza Badol, Barrister Ruhul Quddus Kajol, Advocate Ghazi Kamrul Islam Shojol, Barrister Ragib Rauf Chaudhry, Advocate Maksudullah and Advocate Ajmul Hossain Khokon. On October of 23rd last year, the High Court bench of Justice A.K.M. Asaduzzaman and Justice Syed Inayat Hussain scrapped the 4 cases against Tariq Rahman. Later, the state side filed leave to appeal against the High Court verdict. Moving on to international news.